Hello. Today I'm going to be painting for you, and we're going to be talking a little bit about anger. I've always been very angry ever since I was a child. I used to be so angry that my whole family would call me evil when I was like 8. Not very helpful for an 8-year-old to hear that they're evil, or that the church is going to burn down because I'm in it. I didn't know how to express my anger properly. I didn't have emotional regulation, I feel like that's absolutely something that needs to be taught, and I was never taught that. So I remember I was about 15. I had an older sister who was 17. I used to fight with my mom a lot. We'd have really bad fights. And not just me and my mom fighting, where, she didn't want me in the house. The turning point was when I found out that my sister said that she locks her doors at night because she thinks I'm gonna kill her in her sleep. That I understood where it was coming from because I was so angry. But after that I moved out because that hurt me so much to have my sister think that I would even hurt her like that. I would want to kill her. But that's where my anger took me. It took me to a point where people feared their lives, I've been working on it for a long time. I still get angry. We all do. And there's healthy angry, and then there's unhealthy angry. I've pretty much been living my whole beginning part of my life and middle part of my life in unhealthy anger. Very violent, very, very loud. I remember just like six years ago, I was yelling a lot. My kid was like a year old, and I didn't want to yell because of, things were out of place, or, you drew on the walls. So there was one day where, I tried really hard. I got really mad and really angry, and I held it in. And I woke up on the floor because I fainted. It's not healthy to hold in your anger. It's also not healthy to release it out on everybody else. I've been working towards feeling my anger and working through it, having it pass. It passes a lot sooner now. But people enjoy their anger. You actually get a dopamine hit in your brain when you're angry. And you're just reaching for that dopamine. Instead of you taking your anger, you allow it to take you and take you away from, take me away from where I want to be. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to yell. I want to be stoic, zen, It's a process. Each day may get easier. Some days aren't so easy. moon phases, hormones. Those days are pretty hard. But overall, I'm much, much better than I was. I used to get into a lot of bar fights, and that released the anger. I'll tell you that. You know, getting in some brawls. Well, when does it stop? If I'm so used to, bar fights and getting it out that way, that's not a healthy way to get it out. I wasn't a boxer. I was taking it out on other people, and maybe there's gonna be people out there that make you mad, but you can't change them. There's always gonna be someone out there to make you mad. Why? Don't give them the pleasure. Sometimes there's things that make me mad that I don't know why. But I have to look deep inside me. There's a lot of inner child healing that I have to do, because I have to heal my inner child before I can be completely good for my own children. My son likes to play characters, this guy. And for some reason, it makes me angry. Even when I try, even when I want to spend time with him, I want to do what he loves to do, and I say yes, yes, I'll play characters with you. And something happens inside me that I have to stop it at that point, because I know if I start to play, I'm going to start getting really mad and angry during it. And I know, it has nothing to do with him, it has nothing to do with the characters or anything. It's me, it's my inner child. I don't know. I don't have a lot of memory of my childhood, because sometimes your brain does stuff for you. And it helps. It helps not to have bad memories, so it blocks it out. But then it makes it kind of hard to know the reason why you do things. The childhood you have makes the person you are. It doesn't mean it has to stick. So the childhood I had made me very angry, lost, addicted. I'm trying to work through all those things now, so that I don't give any of those things to my own kids. I will say I'm proud of myself. I had a recent situation. I'm proud of myself for not fighting. I'm not proud of trying to yell over the woman that was yelling at me. I should have established that she was yelling and not listening at all. So whether I was raising my voice or not, she wasn't going to hear me. It's a situation where a woman didn't like something about me and was telling me I was carrying a scooter, telling me to put the scooter down because I'm going to beat you. And I laughed, because no, man, you're not going to bring me back to that. I'm not, I don't want to be the mom at the bus stop that's fighting. Ew. Really? And for one, I'm not going to put the scooter down. I'm going to beat you with the scooter. But I didn't do that. And I'm proud of myself, because In another world, I maybe would have. I don't know. I used to be like that more often than none. I'm better where I am now. Mentally, even emotionally. Even if I get anger now, I don't let it take me out for very long. And let me tell you something. You got anger issues or you got anything going on? I know it's difficult to do in the beginning, but meditation really helps. Do guided meditations, and from anywhere, and try it out. It's going to be hard. Try small. Baby steps. I read the book Atomic Habits, and it works. The only habits I was ever good at were bad habits. And when you stop your bad habits, if you don't replace them with other habits, you can't say, oh, well, I stopped doing drugs so I got a job. Okay, what about your downtime? What about your other time that you have all the rest of the day? You gotta occupy your body, your mind, even, work on some things. I had a lot of fun in life, and I don't regret it because it brought me to the person I am today. There was a lot of problems, and pain, and suffering, but you get through things like that, and you become resilient. You grow. You make yourself better. I'm doing this right here to grow. I want to be better. I was so mad for so long. And I finally got my kids back and got a life I wanted. And I still struggle with anger a lot. Sometimes it's even my children who are the ones that make me the angriest. They don't listen. They're also learning to be who they're trying to be. So all I can do is try to be the best me. I get angry at them a lot. And I have to try to remember the positives. What did they do right? Not always what did they do wrong. But not only that, any situation. There's so many situations in life that's going to bring you to anger. And we got to learn, breathe, meditate. Like I said, it's hard at first. You know why? I sometimes it feels stupid. But you want to know what's stupid? An adult that's ill-regulated and doesn't know how to control themselves. I'm trying to take control of not only my life, but my emotions. You can't control what's going to happen to you. You can only control how you're going to react to it. And the better you get at reacting to things that make you feel incredibly angry, the better it'll feel. It eventually gets easier. If I hold in a scream now, I don't faint. You need love for yourself too. I'm not a doctor. It's my own opinion though. If you can't love yourself, really love yourself, then all the issues that you have with your anger or your reactions, or it's going to be harder to fix those. Because when you love someone, you want to do things for them. You want to help them. You want to cure them. If you don't love yourself, then why would you want to help yourself? There's nothing wrong with you. The child that you were, that was told all the time, if you were told, oh, you're so this, you're so that, there's nothing wrong with you. You're a kid. Kids are stifled and taught to be obedient. They should be free. And yeah, kids sometimes are jerks. But you teach them love. And a hit is not love. Yelling is not love. When I do get loud with my oldest, I'll explain that I'm that way because of a fear. Again, my fear brings me to anger. So I'm scared sometimes for my kids. Like if your kid goes running off into the street, you're gonna scream, ah! Get out of the street! You're screaming in fear. It's hard to be calm when something happens so quickly and you want to stop it. It's hard to do that in a calm way. Every day I try to be a little bit better. You're not going to get 100%. You're not going to get perfect in a minute. I used for 30 years almost. I'm not going to be able to fix all the things in a year. It's 30 years of being a certain way. You gotta unteach your brain before you teach it. I remember people always used to say, like, oh, you should be in anger management. And then I would tell them, no, that would make me incredibly angry. And I was in anger management once. And I got into a fight in there because it made me angry. But the best way to manage your anger is to first acknowledge it. Acknowledge what you're doing, why you're doing it. Why are you doing the things you do? Acknowledge things. Don't just say, oh, this happened. Acknowledge, perhaps there's a reason. When I first started this journey, I used to get upset because I was aware. I was aware of how I was acting, what I was doing. But I wasn't able to change it yet. Yet. Always put a yet in your doesn't have. I don't have emotional regulation yet. Let your brain know that it's coming. But I was aware and I wasn't able to change it yet. And it would frustrate me. Because being unaware of how bad you're acting or, how irregulated you are, it just happens. And then you're on your way and you do your other things. But when you're aware of it and still can't change it yet, you notice it. You see it more. Maybe even it frustrates you because you can't change yet. But it starts with the smallest steps. Taking the very smallest steps possible. Before I read that book, Atomic Habits, I was even doing that. I wanted to start exercising every day, every morning. I don't do it every day now. But, that was my goal. And I didn't even, start with one jumping jack. I started with, I took a few minutes out of my day, sitting on the couch, and just imagined myself doing crunches, doing push-ups, doing squats. Okay, that was my exercise. And then the next day, same thing, just imagined it. But you know what? Doing that for about a week or two, eventually, I was like, I could do this. I don't have to just imagine it. And when everybody says it starts with a thought. Well, what's that thought? Because if you say you want to get clean, if you say you want to grow and have a better life, but your thoughts are garbage for that, you got to start with that. If you have a garbage thought, switch it up. Change it. Start making it that just your thoughts start to get better. I have a journal that I wrote in when I was trying to get clean. And I know when people say like, oh, when you're angry about something, write it down. No! I get so much more angry writing it down, living in it. It doesn't get it out. It enrages me more. So, I don't know. The journal when I was wanting to get clean, if you read it, you can't tell all the bad things. You can't tell I was using. I know I was using, and you could see like, oh, talk to you tomorrow in the notebook, and then, I don't have an entry for like 4 days. Well, I know in my mind what happened in those 4 days, but it was not written down because it doesn't need to be said. I know what wrong I was doing. I was trying to get it right. I like to know when I'm wrong because I want to get it right. And that doesn't mean I like to be told I'm wrong. That makes me pretty angry. Oh, I'm wrong, so I'm wrong. But I do want to know because I want to change it. I just, again, my initial reactions are still not the best. But I'm working on it. And so could you. You mess up, that's okay. You don't have to keep messing up. When you learn to be with yourself, and you actually learn yourself, because that's the problem. A lot of people, they don't even know who they are. Excuse me. I still don't know who I am. But I'm learning, and I'm working at it. And just know you don't have to be the current person you are right now. If there's something you don't like about yourself, change it. If there's something a bunch of people don't like about you, well, who are these people? If it's like anybody, who cares about those people? But if there are some people that you really respect their opinions, you love them, maybe take into account things that they see about you. Because there's so many times I didn't know certain things about myself. And it had to be pointed out by someone else. And a lot of times that's how I learned certain things about myself. I do love myself. But even if you love yourself, you can always find things to change to better yourself. I don't know if you're here just because this episode's on anger, or if it's something more. But either way, I hope I can help in some way. You know, I still have issues with, like, people say stand in the mirror and do affirmations. I do a trick. I look at myself in the mirror, and I heard this from someone else, YouTube video or something. High five yourself. Don't say anything. Don't. Just high five yourself. Because are you gonna high five someone you don't like? No. You gonna high five yourself with someone you don't agree with? Well, can't say that. You know, people have opposite political beliefs. That doesn't mean you don't like the person. What your beliefs are, politically, religiously, that shouldn't change how you see someone. That shouldn't change the love you can have for them. But look in the mirror and say positive things. I could say positive things to myself all day, but for some reason, if I look in the mirror, I get embarrassed. No one could be home. It's just me in the house. No one's ever listening to me. But I get embarrassed in front of myself. Why? I don't know why a lot of things happen to us, or why I have the reactions I have sometimes. But I question them. And I remember I questioned how to forgive someone. I said, well, you know, I want to let it go. Because if you forgive someone, it's to let your anger go. Because if you have such rage towards someone that you wish bad on them, they don't know. They don't care. It only affects you and the way you feel. So I wanted to know, how do you forgive someone that you're so mad at? No one gave me an answer. But you keep questioning it. You keep working on yourself, because eventually that forgiveness came. You release it in yourself, and it came automatically. I don't know how it happened. But some people I really, really couldn't forgive. And now, one of them I actually have a good relationship with. And love her. And the other person, I don't wish bad on. I forgive that they only knew what they thought was best. And that it doesn't always have to do with me. Some people are messed up. And maybe they don't want to work on themselves. They don't want to help themselves. You can't harm yourself in hating them. You know, sometimes keeping people out of your life, yeah, is helpful. But again, do you forgive them for what they did? And I know a lot of people that would be like, no! But it's only harming you. And if you really want to get better for yourself, I did. And that's why I asked, like, how do you forgive someone? When you have stuff right for yourself, it'll happen. It happened automatically. Or even maybe a situation changes where it enables you to forgive them and let go. And let me tell you, when you let things go, like, oh, someone stole from you, let that shit go. Because you know what? When you really let it go, the universe gives you so much more. Might not be the same, but you'll have what you need. It's good to have a monster inside you. Like survival. If you need to do something to survive, it's good to have that monster in you. Not every person is in survival mode. Not everybody's looking to attack you. I've felt attacked a lot, and maybe that's why I was always so angry, If you're a really angry person, good, because then you have it in you. But learn to tame it. Tame your dragon. Because if not, the littlest things could take you out. You don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen for me. I don't want the little things to take me out. Every day is a process. And you gotta, I have to work at that process to make sure that my life stays good, that my kids are raised correctly. Well, that I'm not the one messing my kids up. I want to be there for them. I don't want to feel the rage that I've always felt. And like I said, it's much less now. But it's in there. Sometimes when someone's really angry and screaming at me, it's a lot easier to keep my composure and not yell. I think because I see it. I see them and I'm like, I don't want to do that. But sometimes if I'm a little mad and there's someone calm in front of me, yeah, I wind up being the one screaming and mad. But it doesn't always have to be that way for me. When you really want to change, when I really wanted to change, I work towards it. And until you realize where you need to change, you can't really change anything. I know a lot of my anger stems from my childhood, and so now I've been working on healing that part of myself. Healing my inner child. And who knows, maybe once that little girl is fully healed, I won't be so angry. Because until you can control yourself, that was one of the first things I learned with skiing. Always stay in control. And I try to bring that into my life, to always stay in control. Not have control, but for myself, stay in control. I'll say one day it'll, just like the forgiveness, I'll realize my anger hopefully is gone. That'll be real nice. I try to stay as peaceful as possible. It doesn't always work. But I know it'll happen one day. I know if I keep working on myself, if I keep working towards my goals, then I'll have everything I want. And the goals I've worked towards already, I have the greatest thing that I wanted, which is a real life with both my children. And I'm really grateful for that. So, whatever reason you came here, I wish you the best, and may you find peace.